Purdue IU fans, this podcast is for you. We're going to talk about the rivalry. Lou, just describe what this rivalry means to you.
Man, for me, being from Illinois,
yes,
it's grown on me. You know, I can sit there and honestly say I split up growing watching Duke, North Carolina, IU, Purdue, and you always wonder which one is the best. And then once you hit campus, one of my first days on campus, Mr. Blaylock, God rest his soul, he says to me, I have on a red Cincinnati hat because I'm a Ken Griffey Jr. fan. And he looks at me and said, hey, Jackson, I love you. I think you're going to be great here. But we don't wear red. Take that damn hat off. And I'm like, right. No, like, I like the hat.
Right. What's up, CTA family? Welcome back to the Compete Mentality Podcast. The Compete Mentality Podcast exists to motivate, educate, and inspire you to compete in your life, whatever walk of life you are in. Today, we have a special guest and honored to bring in Lewis Jackson. Lou, thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you having me, Jay.
Man, I could go the rest of the podcast introducing this man and what he means to CTA. His accolades on the court, just look him up yourself. He's guarded the best, he's played the best. He's the all-time winningest point guard in Purdue history. And on that note, we're gonna digest and talk about the rivalry game. The rivalry game that is coming up against the team that we don't even speak of the name from down south. And we're gonna preview the rivalry game. So I actually just had a notification that Tyler Hansbrough on his podcast, he just put out the preview for the Duke Carolina game, and I'm just to let you know right now we are previewing the game that's most important. So with that being said, Lewis, just to kind of kick us off. We're going down south. We're playing in Assembly Hall. Curious on your thoughts on your favorite away arena to play in. When I say favorite, like this could be toughest. This could be where you played the best. Just kind of what's your arena, man?
Oh man, it's a tough one. The Big Ten's got a lot of great arenas, a lot of great fans. The atmosphere is just amazing, especially when you're playing top-ranked teams. Things are on the line. I'll probably have to say Michigan State, and probably my second one would be Minnesota. A lot of people probably like Minnesota, but I always played well there.
Yes,
love the barn atmosphere, but it's something about going into the Breslin Center. They got a whiteout. Normally, every year we play them up there. It's for the race of the Big Ten championship, so that atmosphere it's unmatched.
Definitely. Courtney would echo your affinity to the barn as well. It's up there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's frozen tundra up there, but it's just you can't explain it till you're in it.
Absolutely. It's something about the floor, and like you said, it's the atmosphere. Like when you get in there, I don't know, the rims are soft. They kind of dim the lights. It's a cool atmosphere to be a part of and play in.
Absolutely. Purdue IU fans, this podcast is for you. We're going to talk about the rivalry. Lou, just describe what this rivalry means to you.
Man, for me, being from Illinois,
yes,
it's grown on me. You know, I can sit there and honestly say I split up growing watching Duke, North Carolina, IU, Purdue. And you always wonder which one is the best. And then once you hit campus, one of my first days on campus, Mr. Blaylock, God rest his soul, he says to me, I have on a red Cincinnati hat because I'm a Ken Griffey Jr. fan. And he looks at me and said, hey, Jackson, I love you. I think you're going to be great here. But we don't wear red. Take that damn hat off. And I'm like, right. No, like, I like the hat.
Right.
And just being a part of it, you grow. You grow to really, see how competitive it is. You appreciate both fan sides because it really means something. That game is both teams can be doing great. One team can be doing horrible. But that game, you can just feel it. I'll compare it to an overseas type of event, like when some of the top overseas teams play, the country shuts down, and everybody sits there and watch. And I feel like when IU Purdue plays, the state shuts down.
No doubt.
You pick a side, and whoever wins, it's bragging rights. I don't care what's going on, but I feel like the whole state shuts down, and you're going to choose a side, and you're going to be locked into that game.
Absolutely. Courtney and I, we've been there. I actually played my first college game there in exhibition. It was Tom Crean's first game as a coach. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
Never told me.
So I played there, been there as a manager for Purdue. You got to experience playing there how many times? Three times at Assembly Hall. Just describe what it's like to play at Assembly.
As a Purdue guy, you don't ever want to hear this, but it is amazing. Just the crowd, again, it's IU, it's Indiana basketball, so the fans are passionate. They know the game. And I was just telling Courtney, sometimes it feels like it's a cheat code, but you can be shooting, and a fan can be sitting right behind you, and they may get up while you're in the mid-shot and literally scream at you. But the passion is there, and like even leading up to that weekend, you got to practice with boombox speakers. Because it's legit, you hear coaches always say, you got to speak up. But that game, if guys aren't talking, all 5 guys on the court talking, you can't hear things. You can't hear play calls. Right. It's one of the best atmospheres to play in.
Yes.
Like, I'll give Assembly Hall the credit.
Lewis and I met when I was a senior. Both of us were seniors. He was a starting point guard for Purdue. I was the manager. And one thing that I've seen from Lewis then till now, and what carries him through life is his mindset. And in our training, Lewis, he's the greatest trainer in this country. I will say that right now. But what separates him from everyone else is his mindset. It's what separated him on the court, what separates him as a trainer. I want you to talk about that mindset specifically going into the Purdue IU game. It's a different mindset you got to take. Tell us about that mindset that you're going into this game. What type of mindset are you bringing?
It's war. I mean, every game in the Big Ten is war, but that game, it's war. You got to be ready to be emotionally locked in, like you said, mentally locked in. You got to know there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows. You may hear some crazy things being said in the stands, and you just got to be mentally ready. You got to know it's a dogfight. Don't think because of records or anything that this game can be a cakewalk.
It's 0-0.
Yeah, you got to just know, hey, you got to strap your shoes, lace them up tight, and be ready to go. And just, you can't feed into the crowd. You got to know, you got to make sure your guys are ready to go, and at all times control your emotions, because there's going to be highs in the game, there's going to be lows in the game.
Man, well said. What's your favorite IU memory? At home or away? At home or away?
Well, it's always cool to hear the IU sucks chants. Like just because the crowd, like
at the Michigan game.
It never matters. You know what I mean? It never matters. Like, you just know it's coming. You just hear the passion in the crowd.
Yes.
But for me, probably honestly, my junior year, we're rolling, we're playing well, and me and Jeremiah Rivers, Doc Rivers' son, we get in the tussle there. They're coming back. They're coming back in the game. We get in the tussle, and you hear the crowd. And I remember looking at Coach Painter, and I looked at him. I give him a thumbs up, and then we just come down and we just took over. Jawan gets a dunk. You see him yelling like, "This is our house." Each one makes some big shots. I get some points. Ryan is it was like we took the momentum, but to feel the IU crowd actually battling, trying to will the team to win and being able to take the air out the crowd was probably the best feeling.
Amazing. Lou, I want to talk about this team now. We got a squad.
Yeah.
We got a squad. What are your thoughts on this team?
Man, they're amazing, because the one thing that, I mean, I know what Coach Painter preaches, but it's showing to a lot of young men and even a lot of young women that's watching the game right now that rankings don't matter. And when you can really buy in to be a team player and play for each other, it can do a lot. It does wonders. I mean, Braden Smith is phenomenal as a point guard, just his leadership, his mindset. Fletcher Lower being young, confident. Mason Gill is going through all the injuries. Zach Edey obviously is a monster. Like Ethan Morton, a lot of people are worried about Ethan Morton shooting, but you can see within that team they keep telling him shoot the ball, but he does the little things, the intangibles. Brandon Newman is knocking down shots. David Jenkins to come in from a different program and be able to buy into the culture and be willing to accept his
my
role.
hat to you, Dave.
There's
Absolutely.
a lot of guys at his stage right now would be worried about his pro career, but he's willing to buy in. So these guys are just showing. Trey Kaufman, we all know he could have been Mr. Basketball. Could be playing more minutes. Like this team shows what it truly means to buy in and trust the system. And when you play for each other, I mean, it's amazing. I think we all can say they're a little bit ahead of schedule, what we thought.
Yes.
But it's just the ultimate team, and it's a good lesson for all kids to see.
Definitely. And for both teams, when Monday started, we both have games in between.
Yeah.
And you have to be present. You have to win the day. You have to take one game at a time. With, in the back of your mind, you know this game is coming. IU went to Maryland and got beat. Is that right? They got beat?
Pretty sure. I don't really keep up with IU.
Yeah, I think IU got beat at Maryland. Landon Beagle's over here. I believe that is correct. I think Trace Jackson, he's playing extremely well right now.
Yeah.
Purdue went to the game last night, played Penn State. Micah Shrewsbury back in the house, Boilermaker, brought an amazing offensive system to the Boilermakers. Our guy, shout out Mason Gillis, went off last night, which is a whole nother podcast in and of itself. Mackey court record, 9 3-pointers. Yeah. Shares that with yours truly, Courtney Delks, who's sitting over there. With that being said, Purdue won 80-60 last night, hitting on all cylinders. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen this Saturday? Both teams, as they've come through the week, what's it going to look like? What's your prediction?
Real quick, I got to shout out Caleb Frost because I almost forgot Caleb.
Yes.
Caleb's doing an amazing job too. But it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. Obviously, our ranking, you know, it could be a statement game for IU. Trying to get into the tournament, they just lost. So, you know, they want to come out and put on a great show. They want to get a win. For us, you know, you want to dominate. You still want to keep our ranking. We're right there. We're pulling away for a Big Ten championship. So you got to expect a dogfight. I think we pull away mid-second half. I expect a lot of energy, crowd to be rocking. So you just got to get through that first initial wave because you know IU's going to swing.
Yes.
And you got to be willing to take the punch.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We'll have our highs. And then I just feel like Zach Edey and just that team, the confidence we got, Road Warriors, we'll find a way to get it done. But I do expect a dogfight, and then we'll pull away.
We will see what actually happens. I love your prediction. We got to come ready, strap our boots on, go to work. Lou, as we kind of close this podcast, we talk about mindset all the time with our clients. As I watch you train, the hoopers that you train, I see you preaching to them your one-liners, encouraging them along their journey, along their walk. Truly, your mind goes first, then your life follows, and that's why you focus all the time on the mind as you train our clients. What word of encouragement do you have just for our audience today?
To win the day. I think the biggest thing, especially young kids, adults as well, I mean myself included, I think sometimes we worry about the future too much, and then we should appreciate the days where we feel like we're having a down day, because the down days are the days that's making us look within ourselves and to see where we need to improve. And as long as we focus on winning the day, the next day will be better. Being present in the moment. Absolutely. Being present in the moment. Small deposits. Yes. Daily deposits. They all add up. Yes. Yes. If you really think about it, the past is done and gone. There's nothing we can do with the past besides two things. Learn from it and be grateful for it. Those are the two things we can do with the past. Don't live in it. Learn from it, be grateful for it. Then there's the future. Now, if you really think about it, the future isn't even a real concept. It's always the eternal present moment, 1 second from now, 1 second from now.
1 second from now. That's how you win the day. I call Lewis Yoda on the court because of his wisdom. If you would like to train with Lewis, go to www.competetrainingacademy.org as you prepare your heart, your mind, your game for battle, for war. Lewis, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today.
No problem. Appreciate you having me.
Boiler up, hammer down, and compete.